Let's see it. Let's see this video though.
Routinely gets the cops called on him. Introducing our protagonist, Neil the Seal, a 600-kilo absolute unit of a southern elephant seal from my home state of Tasmania in the land down under, who is known for, above all else, being an absolute fucking menace to polite society. But despite his crimes, we all still truly love him. But what are his crimes?
We do love him.
Well, see, he seems to just fucking hate traffic cones and road safety in general. Has regularly been caught trespassing, and then once he has been caught trespassing, belligerently screaming at locals because they won't give him his fucking fish, and has been known to just block roads by plopping his fat ass down directly in the middle of them. However,
wait, it's just the one seal. It's just Neil. Neil just does this every so often. It's just one. It's just the one fucking seal.
The funniest shit he has ever done was just straight stopping this random lady from going to work. I shit you not. This motherfucker crawled out of the ocean, up the beach, crossed the road, absolutely fucking bodied this woman's poor letterbox, and then proceeded to plant himself directly in front of her fucking car. She was then unable to go to work because this half-ton beefcake was camping her driveway for so damn long. Local news had time to drive out to her house and cover the fucking story. Now, this is a lot of menace for a single seal to cause, but the funniest part of this is, old mate isn't even fully grown. He's like 5 years old. If you think he can fuck things up now, wait until he's nearly 2 solid-ass tons of blubber.
Wait, that's an extra zero. He placed his comma in the wrong way. 40,000. There's no way. 40,000 kilograms. No, you meant 4,000 kilograms.
And takes issue with the wall of your house. I do not think that seal damage is covered on my fucking insurance plan, dude.
But Neil's got to be the most funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. All of this to fuck with one person and to make sure they can never get to work. I don't know who the seal is, but I love him. Imagine telling that to your boss. Hey, Neil, you know what? Since it's such a neighborhood kind of thing, they probably already know. Hey, I'm Neil's victim for today. Neil's like laying on my driveway in front of my car. Boss, I can't get to work. Okay. Oh, Neil? Oh, okay, we got you.
People get shocked when I whip out like a flawless American accent. Because I've got like a really thick Australian one, right? But
Wait, what's an American accent sound like? Wait.
I am not above. Dude, I can't wait to go get like burgers later, man. I'm like so hyped for burgers, dude. I fucking love cheeseburgers. Dude,
oh shit. Wait, is that what Americans sound? Is that what we sound like? Wait, is that really what we sound like?
Been watching the NFL. Super Bowl was crazy this year, man. Eagles just like fucking dumpstered the Chiefs, bro. It was crazy.
Yes. What the fuck? What are you doing, you lovable sapien, you? Oh my god. Oh, everyone, if you don't know my brother Curtis right over here, please go follow Curtis. He's the bee's knees and the birds and the fucking bees. I got you, Curtis. Curtis! I can't wait to drink tomorrow. I already had a fuck-ass work week. I already dealt with a dumbass like this morning. I can't wait to drink. I can't wait to drink already. Hold on, we need to give a raid shout out to Curtis. Let's see what kind of clip will pop up. I'm so gonna be drunk. I'm gonna be so fucking wasted, dude.
Thing I'm gonna do to my future wife one day, you know?
What?
Be looking at her and be like, what you doing over there looking all cute and breedable?
What? I see what you are, Curtis. You're a fucking freak. I knew it. It's always these people that you didn't think would be freaks. I knew it. You were a freak this whole time. Also, I gotta move this just a little bit. What the fuck? There's 2 of them. What the fuck? Huh. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, shit. Why is there 2? What the fuck? That means I put 2 overlays in the... Oh! I did put 2 overlays here. Now, what's this one, then? And what's this one? What the fuck? Where's the other one? Courage, you made me discover something I shouldn't have, probably. Where's the other one? What the fuck? Chet died? There's no way. Hold on. I blame Curtis. This whole shit started because of Curtis. Oh, there you guys are. Yo, wait, that's the one thing I wanted to begin with. Wait, that's the one thing I wanted to begin with, so it shows you guys still. What the hell? We can now blame Curtis for this amazing fucking... I don't know. I've been holding back. We're back! For real this time! You guys are actually back! Except... Is that the right one? Wait, is that even the right one? Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. That's the right one. Revelations! Also, we're watching, like, shit about Australia and all its wildlife. We just had to deal with Neil the seal. It was great.
Australia lost a war to emus.
No, that's fine. That's fine. These birds, I can understand. Hell, America lost a war to tumbleweeds. So this is understandable.
But how? How the f*** did we lose an armed conflict with flightless birds?
You guys were
Well,
armed?
it all started in 1932 when farmers in Western Australia wanted to grow wheat. There was just one major problem. That's emu territory, and emus really like wheat. And coming in at 6 foot tall and 40 kilos in weight, they can eat a lot of it. So
Well.
when breeding season came around, the emus migrated through the farmland, and these poor farmers were overwhelmed by a tyrannid swarm of man-sized poultry, 20,000 emus strong. These feathered
20,000 emus just walk into your farm. Holy shit. I was like, what? Just a few emus just like walked around and just like killed a crop? I don't see the problem with that. So no, 20,000 of those fucking birds walked through the farm and killed everything. I can see why.
The tanks then proceeded to completely steamroll through the fences into the fields and started laying
How did they
waste to
even
the wheat.
count it? I bet they just like, I bet it's a generalization, right? Where it's like, okay, we're over 1,000, and then they do like another like group kind of count. It's kind of like half-ass guessing. We do this all the time. Half-ass guessing, and then half-ass guess in this like circle, then half-ass guess in this circle. It's like, oh, there's 20,000 of them.
The farmers attempted to fight back the initial
square
waves
area
of
thing,
rifle
yeah.
fire, but their efforts were, putting it lightly, completely useless. This ginormous L made the farmers pretty bloody angry, so they gathered together and went to the government to ask for help. Sir, 20,000 emus have hit the wheat fields. Fuck me, mate. And so the government declared the emus enemies of the state and sent in the army to commence the Great Emu War. The entire 7th Heavy Artillery Division was deployed to WA, armed with 2 LMGs, 10,000 rounds, and the sole objective to blast anything with feathers. A little bit excessive for an overgrown turkey if you ask me, and upon their first deployment, the army immediately ran into a major problem.
What the
Emus
fuck?
are fast.
I am speed.
The Great Emu War
Really
is great.
fast, clocking a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour, which meant that once they opened fire, the emus would immediately bolt out of range of their weapons. But they still took a crack at it, and then immediately stopped when both LMGs jammed after only dropping 12 emus. This embarrassment led the army to retreat.
Yep, that's a light machine gun, all right. No one realized how much like an LMG just fucking stops in general. That shit sucks. I know. Shocker, right? Look, here's the thing. I got to shoot an M240 Bravo. I got to shoot that, M240B. That shit jammed every other second. That was the worst shooting experience of my fucking life. I hated that gun. And when it did work, it wasn't even fun. After like 2 to 3 shots, I just like shot. And it was 2 to range, by the way. After 2 to 3 shots with that thing, I was like, wow, this is boring as fuck. You start to realize that way too soon. Or maybe I'm just too American.
And rethink their plan. So a few weeks later they returned this time mounting the LMGs on trucks in an attempt to run the birds down. However, this also didn't work, because after figuring out that those trucks meant they were about to be turned into a KFC family bucket, the emus started leaving scout birds who would warn the flock of the approaching trucks, which gave them all enough time to book it before the army even got there. And whenever they did catch the emus, they found out they were kind of invincible. Because emus are mostly feathers, and there's a lot of places you can hit on them without doing any damage, meaning it was taking around 10 bullets for every one bird. So after a month of blood, sweat, tears, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, the army managed to bring down 960. Wow. The population was 20,000. This was an issue as, unlike America, our defense budget...
That's fucking shit! You only took down 960 out of 20,000 of them that was there. Appointing scouts is kind of a big brain for emus. I'm telling you, birds are evil. They're also way too smart than you think. And the fact that is like, they're deceivingly skinny that your bullets aren't going to hit anyway, because it's probably hitting mostly just feathers. That's just funny.
It is not a bottomless pit. So the army had wasted all that money to achieve absolutely fuck all. So the government just kind of built a really long, really shit fence around the farms and
oh my
called
god.
it a day.
Hey dude, what the hell is going on with you? You want to cool it down with like that fucking like dick punching to me? You want to fucking cool it down, you piece of shit?
How the fuck did we lose this?
You've been doing this throughout the whole entire stream. You want to calm down with that dick punching?
And a cricket bat. I have been assaulted by a cow. One of the cows is called Monty, and he's an adolescent, and I made the mistake of turning around for like 5 seconds, and in that 5 seconds, this 500-kilo cow runs up behind me while I'm sorting out his food and tries to f***ing mount me.
Oh!
He nearly f***ing squished me. If I hadn't been hitting legs, I would have been squashed by a horny f***ing cow. This bird
the cow is such a troll. Maybe we should have like let the video played for a little bit, because that cow was aiming for something else. That's a scary thing to imagine. That's like one of the most normal things. Who we piping? Hopefully the monsters, and then hopefully the fox mask. Hey Ames, how you doing? I shit you not, cows are kind of like mostly like that. Dude, when I was like, oh god, I'm about to release just a little bit of info about myself. I was raised in a farm town. We had cattle every fucking where. You cannot turn into like one direction without seeing a cow at the very least. I'm in cattle land. Yeah, the cows do that. A lot.
Range its organs and skeletons just to lay an egg. This cute little guy.
Oh, these stupid birds. I fucking hate these birds.
A ratite native to New Zealand this time. And the absolute poster child for getting cucked by evolution. You see, this walking featherball is actually directly related to the emu, ostrich, and cassowary, being a member of the same family of flightless birds. However, there is a problem. You see, the rest of the Kiwis' bloodline actually looked up a build guide before picking their stat spread, and as such made sure to trade the whole flying thing for something useful. With all of his cousins.
London bitten knife, as in they have some long ass claws that pretty much counts as a fucking knife. Ay!
Specking into speed, size, and some kind of offensive capability.
99 strength.
So that leaves the question. What did the Kiwi pick to make up for not flying? Absolutely f***ing nothing. Kiwis are tiny in comparison to their relatives, coming in at only 4 kilos in weight and 50 centimeters tall. This is because Kiwis evolved largely on an island with no natural predators, so they downsized and traded out the knife feet and bloodlust for just being a little guy with a good attitude, which honestly worked pretty. The
only thing they got going for them is just being a little guy with a good attitude. That's it.
Well,
they chose cuteness for survival. For what? We didn't feed them shit.
And now they have to deal with cats and dogs trying to eat them. And considering this build was not designed for PvP, they have been clapped so hard by invasive species that they are now unfortunately an endangered animal. But getting shafted by the British is just the beginning of the generational violation of the Kiwi, because these poor feathered fruits can't even reproduce without getting f***ed over. You see, the Kiwi bird's cousins are famous for laying huge eggs.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking to hit your protein macros in one meal-sized eggs.
My favorite.
And you would think that is because they are large. And you would be wrong. Because
Huh?
their vertically challenged cousins have to lay eggs the same size.
Huh?
A kiwi bird lays eggs 20...
Wait.
Kiwi bird's cousins are famous for laying huge eggs. I'm talking hit your protein macros in one meal-sized eggs. And you would think that is because they are large. And you would be wrong. Because their vertically challenged cousins have to lay eggs the same...
That's a chicken egg. This is a kiwis. That's an emus. That's an ostrich. It's the same fucking size. Why? Why?
Same size. A kiwi bird lays eggs 20% the size of their body. With the egg being so bloody large, it rearranges their internal organs and stretches their rib cage just to be able to hold the thing. For reference, that is like a human giving birth to a 15-kilo child. That's not a...
How do kiwis survive that? I don't even know. I just think they just die, right?
bun
What
in
went
the
wrong
oven
in the
anymore.
kiwi
That's a
design?
whole
I wish I
fucking
knew.
bakery. There was a big-ass huntsman that used to live in my house, and I'm gonna be honest, dude, I kind of just let him hang out.
He ain't f***ing small. I'll tell you that much. There's a huntsman, and they
I was quite happy to let him just chill, because I never saw a f***ing mosquito or a fly in that house. So he was paying rent in his own way, you know?
I mean... if the spider's doing its job, then...
Scientists just de-extincted a 12,000-year-old dog. Well, kinda. You see, a bioengineering company called Colossal has dedicated itself to doing what every single Jurassic Park film has told us is a bad idea.
Oh yeah? What? No way.
Bringing back extinct species.
Why?
And recently, they made a breakthrough. They have managed to bring back the 12,000-year-old direwolf. You know those big-ass puppies from Game of Thrones that the Starks had? Yeah, those were actually a real-ass animal, alive during the late Ice Age. And the best way I can describe them to you is, basically a wolf on steroids. Yeah, buddy! These things were bigger, faster, and stronger, estimated to have the highest bite force out of any canine. And in a move that I'm sure has no implications, they have managed to bring these bad boys back to life.
Apex
These
predator,
two
by the
little
way.
guys are now 6 months old and have been living on a private plot of land with 24/7 veterinary care. However, they've only just been shown off to the public, with the company going so far as to get a photo op with George...
Twitter was celebrating so hard. They don't know the implications of this. They don't. Alright, Dad, why? They're cute. Yeah, all the way up until they're around the same height as you.
R.R. Martin holding one of these adorable little killing machines, showing that man will literally interact with an extinct species before he finishes that last f***ing book. There was, however, one
Ooh, shots fired! That's actually so fucking true. He's never gonna finish that fucking book.
small problem. This isn't technically a direwolf. You see, by merit of them being extinct, short of specking into necromancy, you can't exactly bring them back. Which is where this guy comes in. You see, the grey wolf shares 99.5% of its genetic code with the direwolf. So, using CRISPR gene editing, they basically toss the grey wolf back into the spore creator, then using the code found in direwolf fossils as a build guide, juiced the out of it, boosting the size slider and putting some extra points into strength, as well as adjusting its head shape and teeth. All in all, they made a total of 20 edits to 14 genes, producing the closest thing we can get to a direwolf short of time travel. Which is cool as f***. I give it 5 years before a man-made horror beyond comprehension breaks out of that f***ing lab.
We're gonna be playing Resident Evil in real life, brothers! We're gonna be playing Resident Evil in real life! I can't wait for biological horrors to go kill me. Sometimes dead things should stay dead. This is one step to making sure that we just absolutely fuck ourselves, huh? This is just one step away from absolutely making sure that we fuck ourselves. What abomination did I just see when I entered? That is a Resident Evil creature for, like,
And we are all
description.
playing Resident Evil.
I knew it! I didn't even think about that. I just saw the Resident Evil creature.
This bear was actually a soldier. But how? You see, it was 1942, and the 22nd Polish Artillery Company were passing through the mountains of Iran on their way to the front lines to fight the Nazis.
Yeah.
While passing through a town on their way, they were stopped by a young Iranian shepherd looking to trade with them for rations and a Swiss Army knife. When the Poles asked what he had to offer in return, the young shepherd produced a burlap sack containing an orphaned Syrian brown bear.
Why?
You see, this bear's mother was shot by hunters, which is how
I'll give you some ammunition and some food. Or like, you give me ammunition and food, I give you a baby bear.
he ended up in a low-tech Pokeball being offered as a trade deal. The Polish looked at the bear and, clearly seeing the potential for insane dad lore, said,
Damn good deal.
and in the most
Damn good
worthwhile
deal.
trade deal in history, parted ways with their supplies in exchange for a f***ing Pokemon, adopting him into their ranks and naming him Wojtek. And the
Wojtek.
22nd immediately set about raising this little man as a proper bear and soldier.
Maggots!
As a baby, they would feed him condensed milk out of an empty vodka bottle, as well as feeding him on
That's
the
so fucking
cartoon
metal.
bear diet consisting of
Oh, that's
fruit,
quite the history.
honey,
I love it.
and marmalade. They also appointed a soldier as his caretaker, who wasted no time in showing Wojtek how to fit
This
in with the
motherfucker
rest
drank
of the
vodka?
army.
No,
teaching
pay attention, you fucking weirdo. They drank condensed milk from a vodka bottle, but the image is very funny.
Yogi's little cousin to wave, salute, and even march.
Same shit. No,
While
there's
not undergoing
there's a
rigor-
huge difference between 40% alcohol and that shit that you suck from your mother's tit.
Rigorous military training, Wojtek would hang out with the soldiers. He drank coffee with them in the morning, trained with them in the day, and when they all got shit-faced in the
Oh, guess what? Guess what I can do to win every single argument? Time out. I do too much.
evening, he would f***ing wrestle with them. Do you know how much a brown bear has to love you to wrestle you? On top of double rations,
I was about to do it. Yo, dude! We have the same brain every single time. I swear to God. Everyone should go follow my LNTVT said bye. Everyone should go follow, Everyone, please go follow. They keep the chat safe. They keep this place safe. And also, I go to their streams to just, like, unstress. Because seriously, what is going on this morning? Here we go. Everyone, please go follow, please. If you don't, I'll bite your kneecaps. Wrestling with a bear is not very safe. Yeah? Well, tell them to those guys. They did it. That means I can do it too, right? I can wrestle with a bear. No, I cannot. I'm not gonna go there. Not the kneecaps. Yes, the kneecaps. Hello, Vane. I'm gonna give you a shout out too. Hold on. I got you. I got you. And also, please go follow this guy right over here. The one with the cute butt. I just still... And also, Vane, I still cannot get over the fact of this guy pulling out the most, like, crisp American accent to the point where it's just like, I have to look at that and go, like, is this how... Wait, is this how we sound like? Is this how we sound like to every other country? Is this how Americans sound like to every other country? Are you for real?
also feed Wojtek treats in the form of beer and cigarettes. They let the bear have smoko. Eventually, Army High Command heard about this and were having absolutely none of it. You see,
This base has a bear. They have a fucking what? The bear smokes. The bear smokes and drinks some beers. What the fuck?
were not allowed in the army, which meant Wojtek had to go. Or did he? Because the 22nd
I'm kinda curious
Artillery
too.
Company officially enlisted him.
I'm doing my part.
They enlisted him to make sure he doesn't get, like, taken
Wojtek
away.
was given a serial number and granted the rank of private. So when confronted about the very conspicuous bear in their ranks, they simply went, "That's not a bear, that's Private Wojtek." And Wojtek took his
What are you
new-
talking about? That's not a bear within our base. That's Wojtek. Private Wojtek. Plot twist after fucking plot twist. So that's how they got around it. You're not allowed to have a bear here. No? That's not an animal or a bear. That's Wojtek. Come on.
role very seriously, as during the Battle of Monte Cassino in 1944, Wojtek began using his bulk to transport artillery shells and ammo to soldiers engaged in combat. They had a fucking resupply bear. For his bravery, he was promoted to the rank of corporal, and the 22nd changed their insignia to a bear carrying an artillery shell. This absolute unit smoked, drank, and dropped artillery on the Nazis.
Holy shit! Reminds me how there's also a penguin in the Norwegian army. Did it ever do this? It drank, it smoked, and it delivered ammo in the battlefield against Nazis. Never in my lifetime will I be as cool as that fucking bear. Jesus Christ, what a fucking legend. Wojtek, you are my dream. I don't think he did yet. Yet, no. Oh, yet. Watch out, you're in the right place. Also, Moonbeam Lunaris, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Crow's Nest. Welcome, welcome.
Based.
That's not a bear. That's a homie. That's a fucking homie.
Australia has just found zombified bugs.
What?
That's right, we are closer to the Walking Dead Down Under than you think. You see, just recently, a scientist by the name of Dr. Francois Brassard made a trek out to the remote savannah of the Northern Territory, with the goal of finding and cataloguing brand new species of insect unknown to science. I mean, me
Another
personally,
fucking spider,
I think
Jim.
we found more than enough bugs, especially considering that half of them can send me directly into the fucking soil. But what do I know, right? Anyway, on his trip to the middle of nowhere, he stumbled across a colony of spiny savanna ants, which is a pretty normal thing to find out there. However, getting closer, he noticed something a little off. You see, the main ant colony was fine, completely normal. However, the several disfigured and deformed ant corpses clamped onto shoots.
Actual photos. Why do they look like that? They actually look like zombies.
Of grass surrounding the colony like a Bug's Life version of Vlad the Inhaler. Yeah, those were significantly less normal. Brassard, mildly unsettled by the ant gore on his timeline, took samples for inspection and upon getting a closer look, realized something both really cool and really spooky. The ants had been overtaken by fungus.
Oh, these things.
More accurately, a previously unknown strain of the cordyceps fungus.
Oh.
Infamous around the globe for its ability to create zombie bugs. And the way it does it is
the unknown.
Unbelievably horrific. You see, it begins with
Sammy,
a spore
welcome on
landing
in.
on an ant.
Can we give a shout out to Sammy? I will still always remember the rat model that I was talking to the whole entire night when I was fucking drunk. Literally, The Last of Us. This is where The Last of Us got their inspiration. Cordyceps, baby. Cordyceps. Hi. Help. What do you mean? Those are two very different reactions.
And producing a thin, rope-like strand that penetrates and attaches to their exoskeleton.
Ugh.
At which point, the ant gets a little timer on his hotbar, counting down to a family reunion with his ancestors. Once inside, the fungus begins to take control of the ant's body and brain function, completely changing their behavior, replacing their colony-focused mindset with one
It looks cute, not
single
gonna
goal.
lie. That's a red flag.
Climb. Its fungus-riddled mind drags its rapidly deteriorating body to the closest high point, which is usually a plant, with its final act being to clamp its mandibles onto the stem in a death grip, finally succumbing to the infection and being completely consumed. Its corpse blossoming into a fully grown cordyceps fungus and raining down spores onto the rest of the colony to continue the cycle of infection. Now look, I know this fungus is found elsewhere in the world, but it's a new strain and it was found in Australia. With my luck, I'm going to be playing The Last of Us against couch-sized spiders within the fucking week.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, it's a new strain. They just discovered it. And it's in Australia. That thing's gonna mutate. We're about to have a zombie apocalypse. Batting against the direwolves too. Oh, the zombie mushrooms. The fact that it's in Australia is probably the worst thing on planet fucking Earth, where, you know, half of everything there is venomous. If there's a breakout or outbreak, we know where it started. Damn. I placed my bets on a different country.
Who wins? 100 men or one gorilla?
I think we can do it.
Answer, we're going to have to look at our fighters for the most anticipated cage match of 2025. And in the red corner, standing at an impressive 6 feet tall and weighing a ridiculous 220 kilos, we have one singular silverback gorilla. Stepping into the ring to settle the score against humanity for what we did to Harambe, this fighter is bringing some impressive physical strength, capable of lifting up to 800 kilos of weight. meaning that if it gets its hands on you, a gorilla is more than capable of picking you up and doing you the same way that Hulk did Loki.
No!
Now, on top of being stronger than Eddie Hall, they also have an unreal reach advantage with a 2.6 meter wingspan. Which is a fairly major problem because a right hook from a gorilla produces 2,700 pounds of force. To put that into perspective, the human skull shatters at 1,400. So if Winston hits you with a haymaker, your head is going to pop like a watermelon.
Oh, we're fucked.
And with the cage fight following the Mortal Kombat rule set, we can also factor in the gorilla's bite. Because despite being
snooze. Let me bother your fucking roommates!
Gentle herbivore in the wild, they have one of the highest bite forces on the planet at 1,300 psi. That is 100 psi more than a polar bear. And now, with our fighter statistics out of the way, let's get down to business. Can our gorilla win a fight against the 100 average men in the blue corner? Place your bets. Let's see who comes out on top. Yeah, look, I'm going to keep it real with you. Even with those stats, Winston here is getting bodied. I'm sorry. He's going back to the spawn room. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 directly to hanging out with Harambe in heaven. 100 people. It's just too fucking many. He's getting jumped. However, not to say he's not going to take a few with him. My guess is one guy runs up and gets swatted across the cage like a toddler, shatters his ribs against the bars. Second guy gets grabbed by the leg and given Hulk treatment. About 6 other guys cop swings to the head and die instantly from broken necks. One dumbass is probably going to try to hit him off the top rope and get done the
I'm the guy that's going to try to hit him off the top rope.
Same way that Omni-Man did Nightwing.
Ah, shit!
But at that point, the crowd probably jumps in and realizes that there are still about 90 of them and it's over. Not that the fight even needs to happen, but it wouldn't be the first time we lost a gorilla to human stupidity.
Okay, I'm pretty sure 100 guys can take them on. Yeah, but I will be one of those idiots that will die.
This is the deadliest snake in the world. Introducing the inland taipan, and being the deadliest venom noodle in the world, I will give you exactly one guess as to where it's found. It's Australia. Of course it's fucking Australia. Be so serious here. Where the else did you think you were going to find it? Canada? More specifically, as the name suggests, the taipan is found inland in the outback. Luckily, extremely far from civilization. Because this homicidal hospital hose is the definition of size doesn't matter. Because despite having extremely small fangs for a venomous snake, coming in at only 6.2 millimeters, the taipan is here to show you that you absolutely can feel less than an inch, because those fangs contain the statistically deadliest snake venom on the fucking planet. Yeah, taipan venom is a pina colada of pain, containing but not limited to hemotoxins to cause blood clotting,
I can't pronounce the name.
myotoxins for paralysis and necrosis, nephrotoxins to shut down your kidneys, and 3 different kinds of neurotoxin. Needless to say, if it bites you, you will get a headache, vomit up the entire contents of your stomach, collapse to the ground in agonizing pain, and then your heart and lungs will stop, sending you to meet God in under 15 minutes.
15 minutes, huh? 15
and that
minutes!
Venom is so fucking potent that one bite contains enough toxin to do that to 100 people. But the funniest part of this snake's venom is that in the wild, they only hunt rats and f***ing mice. The deadliest venom on the planet, and they are using it to pack up Remy the rat. It's like hunting a rabbit with a f***ing AWP.
That's the cutest f***ing thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh.
Dolphins get drunk.
Wait, what?
Why? Well, you see, the dolphin is by far and away the smartest animal in the ocean. In fact, they're actually the second smartest thing on the planet, just behind you and me. This means
Probably.
they are smart enough to understand that the ideal way to spend your night is more plastered than Chad and Max on your average Cold Ones episode.
Yeah!
There is just one problem. Last I checked, there's no bottle-o in Bikini Bottom. So how does a dolphin get fired for all?
Yeah, but how?
Simple.
How?
They abuse pufferfish.
What?
You see, due to the lack of underwater alcohol, dolphins need to find other ways to get their fix, which is where SpongeBob's driving instructor comes in. You see, pufferfish contain this really cool and totally not dangerous substance called tetrodotoxin. What is tetrodotoxin? You know, it's only one of the most potent natural neurotoxins on the fucking planet. This shit will freeze your heart and lungs in under an hour with a tiny dose. And it's the reason why cooking a pufferfish requires a dexterity check so you don't, hit the poison gland and get yourself deleted. Now, puffers carry this as a defense mechanism as poison accumulates in their organs and skin. Why is that important? Well, you see, I kinda lied. Dolphins don't get drunk. They get high on neurotoxin.
That's different, dude. Then it's not drunk, but they get high?
Pods of dolphins will bully pufferfish until they inflate, then partake in a literal puff-puff pass. By lightly squeezing the puffer in their mouth, they receive a small dose of neurotoxin, which has a narcotic effect, allowing Flipper here to trip balls before passing the unhappy basketball onto the next submarine stoner. Flipper and friends saw the deadliest neurotoxin on the planet and said, "Fuck it, let me try some of that."
Are we sure they're smarter? Are we sure they're one of the smartest creatures? Because Christ, why would you even... I don't even know why. Why would you even take the risk? Why? Why?
This isn't a spider. It's a snake.
What?
Introducing the Iranian spider-tailed horned viper. As the name suggests, native to Iran, and you are all...
That was a... Oh my god. What the fuck? That was a snake? What if there's copium for dealing with humans? Probably. Okay.
Probably wondering why the f this snake has decided to attach a cosplay
Actually,
of the
no, those
average
guys are a
Australian
menace. I don't care about
resident
dolphins.
to his
Fuck
tail.
dolphins.
The answer is food. You see, every known snake species is a predator. Some eat Bambi, others eat Remy,
I see what you
and
did there.
the spider tail, not unlike myself, absolutely fucking loves KFC. However,
What?
birds famously tend to fly, and last I checked, note ropes don't have wings. So, how does this viper get his zinger box? The answer is, again, food. You see, birds eat insects, and the spider tail knows this. So, rather than trying to chase his prey down, this lazy fucker has evolved the evolutionary equivalent of DoorDash. You see, when a viper feels like a meal, it'll start the hunt by finding a nice rocky outcrop to curl up on like a couch. And due to the camouflage on his scales, this snake becomes practically invisible. Once he's nice and cozy, he begins to slowly wiggle his tail back and forth in front of his face, perfectly mimicking the motion of an insect. Think of this as him placing his Uber Eats order.
Huh.
Meanwhile, up in the air, our undercooked chicken tender is flying around when... holy
Undercooked
shit,
chicken tender.
a free meal! What a delectable bug, just sitting there on that rock. And so, Tweety Birdie swoops down to grab himself an insect Happy Meal.
The editing is amazing.
Just as he's about to reach his meal... This spider can remove your limbs.
I'm sorry, what? Jesus Christ.
But how? Introducing the brown recluse.
The more and more we know about Australia, the more I don't want to live there at all, period. I don't want to. What the fuck? The brown recluse? Big no-no to Australia for me. Crazy intro. This spider can remove your limbs.
Native to the
was gonna
United
say, yeah.
States of America, and a prime example of don't judge a book by its cover. Because despite only coming in at a huge 2 centimeters in length and rocking the spider equivalent of default character customization, this little f***er is a level 500 rot build that gives Melania a run for her money.
But Australia have kangaroos? You're saying that like it's a plus. No, fuck kangaroos. They have beef with you, they'll fight you, and then they'll just jump into your like stalls for no reason. Why would I want to do that?
You see, a bite from a recluse starts in the most American way possible.
What's that?
With you accidentally stepping foot onto his private property, causing him to exercise his Second Amendment rights. But considering a spider can't really hold a gun, he's gonna settle on biting your ass. Now, that initial bite's pretty painless. You smack him away, all's well. There is just one small problem. Congratulations, you are now the proud owner of necrotic venom coursing through your veins, which at first does nothing. You walk back to your house, the bite starts to sting a little more. You feel sick.
Huh.
The wound swells, and the blood vessels around the bite burst, turning it a deep red.
Oh.
Over the next few days, that colour shifts from red to purple to black, as the venom literally destroys and kills the surrounding tissue in a process called necrosis.
Yeah,
this causes
Google
the
at your own
skin
risk.
to literally rot and fall off of your body. And if you don't catch it in time, that rot's gonna spread. If you're lucky, it'll only make you violently ill and leave permanent scarring. If you're unlucky, it just keeps spreading, and venom starts to destroy your blood cells and shut your organs down. Now, there's kind of only one solution to that,
No!
but you weren't using that arm anyway, right?
I'm a gamer, I need it! Healthcare provided.
Australia has a straight-up Pokemon.
What?
Introducing the brush-tail possum. More specifically, the golden brush-tail possum. Native to the land down under, and one of the rare examples of an Australian animal that isn't expressly designed to DoorDash you straight to heaven.
Okay,
You see, the brush-tail is one of a grand total of 23 species of Australian
Yeah, it's a possum.
which, despite the name, share absolutely no relation to the red-blooded American opossum.
What the f-
These adorable little marsupials come in all shapes and sizes, from the ringtail possum to the sugar glider, and to our protagonist here, the golden brushtail.
Oh, that I need to see it again, I'm sorry. I need to see that shit again.
The ringtail
That's how I'll
possum to
treat
the
them.
sugar glider, and to our protagonist here, the golden brushtail, which is really just a common brushtail possum with a rare genetic mutation called leucism that causes them to lose the pigment in their skin.
Oh.
So, basically, it's a fucking shiny Pokemon. Coming in at around 4.5 kilos and 40 centimeters in length, these tree-dwelling marsupials are nocturnal and primarily herbivores, mainly consisting on a diet of leaves and fruit. And for added cute points, as marsupials, yes, they carry around their babies in a little pouch like their roided-out cousin the kangaroo.
Jesus.
However, come on, the thing is from Australia, you didn't really think these bad boys would be squeaky clean, did ya? You
What do
see,
they do?
they aren't entirely herbivores. Sure, they love a good salad. They will also quite happily raid a bird's nest and turn Tweety's kids into a 3-egg omelette. Roadkill? Sounds like a fine steak dinner to me. And just because it's not a venomous predator doesn't mean it can't take your fucking finger off. And the cherry on top, Aussie Pikachu here doesn't go Pika Pika. No, you see, Down Under doesn't have Pokemon trainers, because when you step into the tall grass out here, you hear this absolute fucking demon.
That's what they sound like? No wonder we keep getting those ghost videos or something like that. They sound like, oh god, they actually sound like a demon. Jesus freaking Christ, hearing that in the middle of the woods at dark in the middle of the night? No. 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 Okay, next one.
Australia doesn't just have snakes and spiders. It has a tiger. Well, kinda.
I don't wanna hear that in the middle of the night. We knew. What the
better
hell?
known as the Tassie tiger. As the name suggests, native to my home state of Tasmania, this tiny little island off Australia's south coast. No, that is not New Zealand. They have hobbits, not tigers. Well, tiger isn't entirely correct. You see, the thylacine isn't a cat on steroids. You see, this bad boy is the largest carnivorous marsupial on the planet. Despite the kangaroo coming in at 7 foot tall and throwing kicks like Chun-Li, they are herbivores, and everything else with a pouch that eats meat is about the size of a chihuahua, making this 1.3 meter, 20 kilo kangaroo dog with a tiger persona the only...
3 months? The fuck? Holy shit, Uni! It's been 3 freaking months? What the fuck? It was like yesterday. What the... Wait. Why? I have to remember from back then. It's just like, wait, change your name. So it's just like, I'm so used to like, what, Yanni? I'm so used to that more. And now it's just like Uni. Unless I'm literally misplacing that with something else. That doesn't make any sense. How you doing? Jesus Christ, thank you so much for 3 months. I'm kind of glad you didn't run away. Most people ran away for like a month, after a month.
Only marsupial apex predator. See, these things were ambush hunters, using stealth and speed.
Do you think kangaroos are going to appear in this video? No, it's way too obvious. I don't think kangaroos are going to appear. Also, what the fuck? It still looks... This animal still looks super fucked up. I don't know why. I don't know what's getting towards me. I don't know why this thing looks super fucked up in my eyes. I don't get it.
Silently take down their prey like they're playing Assassin's Creed. On top of being a fully qualified Spec Ops agent, these things had a mouth on them to rival Kirby.
Huh?
Capable of opening their jaw a full 80 fucking degrees, which is absolutely terrifying and really cool. It's just one small problem.
I was always Uni.
You may have
you were
picked
not
up on
Yanni?
me talking mostly in the past tense, and that all of this footage is in black and white. That's because we don't have a tiger. We had one. Unfortunately, the thylacine was driven to extinction in the late 1980s. By what exactly? The British. You see, when the Brits, did...
Ooh, am I a bad person for laughing at that? Am I a bad person for laughing at that? Colonization.
Their thing, and
every time I look at this word, I still remember the one motherfucker who said like, "Man, you look so hot, I would colonize your ass." Sometimes I hate where I live. Oh wait, did I say sometimes? I said I mean all the time, all the time.
And decided Tasmania was their house now, actually. They brought with them livestock, namely sheep and cattle, which is a fucking blessing.
Hi, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hello, Elay. How you doing?
To the Tassie tiger, which rapidly added these walking meatballs with the survival instincts of a wet sock to their meal plans.
Free real estate.
The colonists did not take kindly to the thylacine taking their livestock without a license in it, so they placed bounties on their heads. Never mind that these things never attacked humans and very rarely took their livestock. No, they were an inconvenience. And so, they were hunted down. One by one by one. For 70
They never bothered humans, why?
years. Until September 7th, 1936. When the last thylacine, Benjamin, died cold and alone in a cage at the Hobart Zoo. Usually I'd end these with a joke, but the fact that we wiped his entire bloodline and turned him into a f***ing rug isn't that funny.
They never bothered a single
Australia
human.
just found a new record-breaking insect. But
What?
before I show him to you, how the f*** do we keep finding new bugs? You see, Australia is home to an estimated 200,000 species of insect, which is pretty damn impressive, especially when you consider the only place you're going to find more bugs than that is by counting the f***ing roach population in Asmongold's walls.
I remember that. He just casually has a roach just like walked up and he treated it like the most normal thing on earth. Ew,
The scary part of this is that out of that 200k, we've only actually identified 62,000. Meaning that we have no idea what nearly 3/4 of the bugs in the country actually fucking do.
You like jazz?
You like jazz?
And so it should come
Very
as no
faded.
surprise that while exploring Australia's dense rainforests, 2 scientists discovered a new record holder for the largest insect
Undiscover
in
that
the land
shit.
down under, and it's a fucking stick bug.
Get stick bug, motherfucker!
Introducing Acrophila alta. And coming in
I can't even tell if it's in here. I actually can't tell if it's in here. Oh my god, this thing has to like,
at a full 40 centimeters and
that?
44 grams in weight. I don't think that qualifies as a stick insect anymore. That's fucking Groot. Australia's very own Erd tree avatar was discovered in
no,
Queensland.
thank you. That's
Because of course it
that's no
was.
longer a
And
regular
despite
ruler.
being enough inches in length to make any man jealous, it's actually completely harmless. However, given how many oversized bugs we already have, if we find any more, I think they're gonna send the fucking helldivers.
That's a branch insect. Why?
This is the world's biggest spider. But why the f is it that big? Introducing Theraphosa blondie, a tarantula surprisingly not native to Australia for once. It's found on the other tyrannid hive continent, South America.
God damn it.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Yet this thing is fucking huge. Coming in at a
Unreasonably
frightening
large
175 grams in weight and 12 inches in leg span.
Damn,
Oh.
boy, he's thick.
And those legs are not the only place it's packing inches, because Shelob's cousin here is packing fangs that measure a huge inch in length. For scale, that is like a 6-foot human packing canines the length of a fucking ruler. But the important question, why the
Hey, Gemini.
is it so big? And the answer is that I have withheld information from
thanks.
you.
I got
You see,
phobia against spiders.
introduced
I
this
look
girl
away.
by a
That's
Latin
it.
name. She's much better known as the Goliath bird eater tarantula. That's right. This
Oh, this thing doesn't eat other bugs. No, it eats birds. Scar, look away.
EDF-sized spider, not unlike me, would fucking kill for some KFC. Literally. These bile titans will quite happily hunt birds, Remy, frogs, and even
Lizard.
and they do
Lizard.
all of this without a fucking web.
Huh?
Yeah, Goliaths are a pure melee build, hunting by prowling the jungle floor, sensing for movement with incredibly sensitive hairs on their legs.
Hey!
These hairs pick up vibrations in the air, which tell them when something is close. And once their spidey sense tells them that Remy's in range, they fucking jump him, biting him with those daggers they call fangs and injecting
So
him
it crawls
with
everywhere? No web,
fucking
just crawls.
neurotoxin. Can I go 1 week without covering neurotoxin? Of course this thing has
0
it too.
days without neurotoxin.
I give up. I give up. They then drag their prey back to their burrow and spit up acidic digestive juices in order to suck their prey up through a fucking straw. This spider hunts with jump scares.
Most creatures
But
has
how?
that. I don't think you
Introduced-
understand. I don't think you understand. Most creatures do not have a neurotoxin kind of like venom or like whatever poison. They don't. They don't. It's just that we're talking about it so much just because we're in Australia. That's it. That's literally it. Most of every single venomous thing on Earth is in Australia for some fucking reason.
Introducing the trapdoor spider, a family of arachnid containing hundreds of species found in every continent on the globe. Meaning, yes, for once, this bad boy could be in your backyard and you'd never know.
What?
Now, trapdoor
Hello?
spiders are particularly interesting compared to other spiders due to their hunting method. You see, normal spiders tend to spend several hours spinning up some elaborate art piece for a fly to clothesline itself on. And tarantulas just jump shit. But trapdoor spiders, yeah, they hunt with a door. Very early on in life, trapdoor spiders dig themselves a hole. This silk-lined burrow will then serve as its home for basically its entire 20-year lifespan. Hell, they basically never leave the thing, like some neckbeard living in his mum's basement. But
Ew.
they've still got to eat, and since DoorDash does not deliver to spiders, this burrow doubles as their method for catching food. You see, they use their silk to craft the trapdoor over the burrow entrance. Then, using their fantastic arts and craft skills, they just bolt a bunch of random shit to their front door so it blends in perfectly with the floor. After finishing their construction project, they will spin up a bunch of basically invisible strands of web on the floor in the surrounding area that act as tripwires, feeding information back to their neckbeard nest whenever something steps on it.
That's
and when
actually
some
pretty cool.
unfortunate insect steps a little too close...
Money!
This bird is a vampire.
Excuse me?
Introducing the vampire groundfinch, native to the Galapagos Islands, and a great example of the horrifying affronts to the universe that evolution can produce when it decides to do a little trolling. Now you see, at first glance, this is the most boring vampire you can possibly imagine. Coming in at a measly 12 centimeters and a mere 20 grams in weight.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
Rocking a feather pattern I can best describe as a Minecraft dirt block, and as it turns out, the bastards that wrote Twilight lied to me because it doesn't even fucking sparkle.
This is the skin of the
It doesn't even sparkle!
So if it's
At least
missing
no spider,
fangs
at the very
and
least.
a cape and the funny accent,
You must bounce on it.
how does it qualify as a
Crazy
vampire?
style.
Simple. Drinks a shitload of blood. You see, most birds eat seeds and insects, and while the vampire finch can eat those too, there is a problem. They live on an island, and that island is very small. In fact, they're only found on 2 of the Galapagos Islands, and small islands means a far smaller amount of that food to go around. To the point where these finches can't rely on it as their sole source. Which for a bird usually isn't a problem, because, you know, they don't need a plane ticket to just f*** off and fly somewhere. However, as the name suggests, the vampire ground finch can't
Ground.
fly for shit. So, how do they get their
What
food?
do you mean they can't
suck-
fly? That's the one thing a bird should do! Besides like an emu, but, you know, those guys can fucking kick. What do we do? What?
it out of someone that can. This, don't laugh,
Okay.
is the Nazca booby. Hey, stop giggling back there. Another species of bird
Damn it.
native to the islands. They are very strong flyers that feed on fish. They also nest on the islands, which is where our feathery Nosferatu comes to play. You see, when the boobies... Stop giggling. come to roost, the vampire finch will sneak over and hop onto their back. Then, using their razor-sharp beak, they will poke a very small, borderline painless hole.
The
into-
damn thing is a bird. Oh. The thing I had to pause. Oh, I did not mean to pause on that. Whoopsies. Now you guys are seeing it. Oh. Oh. Oh.
to one of the bird's flight feathers. Once the blood is flowing freely, the vampire finch gorge themselves on it. See, as it turns out, blood is macro-friendly. And considering these things are living creatures, they just make more blood. In essence, giving the vampire finch an infinite food source. In fact, they can get so much blood from these birds, it is not uncommon to see multiple finches sucking from the same booby. I'm sorry, I can't say that shit without cracking. Sucking on the same booby. A lot of people are
I'm just as immature. I'm sorry. Hold on. I get. I was watching a video about how island evolution changes species and almost reversed some sizes. One example is a parrot that got way larger and no longer uses wings to fly. It just climbs up trees and glides. Jesus fucking Christ. How? Jesus. Why? Why would it lose the fly? How? What the hell happened on that island?
scared of snakes. But have you ever wondered what snakes are scared of? The answer is this fucking bird.
What?
Introducing the secretary bird, native to the continent of Africa,
Oh, I've
and
heard
a
about this
prime
thing.
example that being a hater pays off. Coming in at 1.3 meters tall and 4.27 kilos in weight, this lanky turkey has been purpose-built, nay, expertly fucking engineered by the gods themselves with the sole purpose of violating the ever-loving out of
my God.
any garden hose that so much as...
Did you see that bird? Wait, did you guys see that bird? That bird was stepping on the head and just pulling. Fucking pulling.
it by the gods themselves with the sole purpose of violating the ever
Look at this. This bird hates fucking snakes so much that it's doing this.
loving
Yeah,
at
natural
any
snake killers.
garden
Oh,
hose
yeah.
that so much as looks at it the wrong
Oh.
way. You see, these bad boys are birds of prey, but unlike their cousins in the same category, they are primarily terrestrial, which means they spend most of their time on the ground. This is because their preference for diet is sentient slithering sausages. However, with this thing being endemic
seen
to
videos
Africa,
of them? They fuck up
their
snakes,
preferred
holy.
meal also just happens to include some of the deadliest predators on the
I'm
fucking
sorry.
planet. Does this stop the secretary bird? No, mate. Despite having no natural venom resistance, these absolute fucking giga-chads will eat cobras, boomslangs, and black mambas
There's one to use. Sentient slithering sausage. Jesus Christ, that's a triple S rating.
without breaking a sweat. But how do they hunt these things without getting bitten? Simple. They just kick the fuck out of them.
That's it? Holy! How do you stop? How do you hunt these things without getting bitten by the venom? Or like even getting hit by venom? Simple. I kick the fuck out of it.
You see, those long-ass legs aren't just for show, as a secretary bird is capable of accurately curb-stomping a snake's head into the ground with a force equal
A very simple
to
solution.
5 times their
It's simple,
body
but
weight.
super effective.
So when a secretary bird fancies a bite to eat, they start out by stomping the ground around dense vegetation. This causes snakes in the area to poke their heads out of their houses to see what the f*** is going
What the
on.
fuck?
The snake then looks up in horror as the secretary bird locks onto him, sprints over at Mach 9, and then...
1A! 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 1A!
This bird is a serial killer.
Jesus Christ, you're the Bay Harbor Butcher.
I really hate that name.
Introducing the Shrike, a group of feathery friends found all over the world, including the land down under. Now, at first glance, you may be thinking to yourself,
Oh.
how could this sweet little guy be a vicious killer? I mean, he's so tiny.
Look at him. He's so cute.
They only grow up to around 30 centimeters.
Look at him, and he even has my like aesthetic. It's all monochrome. It only has black, whites, and grays. I fucking love this thing. What the hell? Oh, look at him, Pikmin.
And cap their weight out at 90 grams.
this thing is so
and on
cute.
top of being about as threatening as a fucking teddy bear,
Ha.
look at their claws. A shrike trying to end anything with its talons is like trying to stab a hippopotamus to death with a fucking pool noodle. Listen to the thing. It sings like it's on American Idol. It's a songbird, a branch
It's
geek.
such a
You've
great
never heard
name.
of
It
fly.
really is.
But I'm fucking onto you, Tweety.
You give me a fucking creeps. You know that, Dexter?
You may have everyone else fooled,
Huh.
but I know exactly what you are, because shrikes actually have another name.
What's
They're
that?
called fucking butcher birds. Yeah, that's right. The Dexter jokes actually had a fucking point. Now, you see, when the Bay Harbor butcher bird wants to hunt, they first start by selecting a target.
Tonight's the night.
Now, unlike Dexter, their code tells them they can eat whatever the fuck they want. Insects, mice, fuck me, even lizard. And once
Lizard.
they pick their meal, they wait for the right moment and swoop on it. Now, while those claws might be fucking useless, they do have a signature weapon. That tiny hook on the end of their beak. And once they land on
What?
their victim, they slide that hook into its neck, perfectly slotting between their vertebrae and severing their fucking spinal cord. But
What the
converting their
fuck?
prey into a vegetable isn't enough. No, 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 no. These sick fucks keep trophies. Once they have paralyzed their prey and shattered its spine, they will fly its corpse back to their larder, which is either a thorn bush or a fucking barbed wire fence.
Oh.
And once they get home, they fucking impale them.
And they're still conscious.
They will then leave that corpse there for days, occasionally biting chunks out of it, eating it like leftovers from the fucking fridge. Dexter collected blood slides. These fuckers create kebabs.
I may have. Now, hear me out. That's fucked up, but like a teenage high school girl, I'm kind of obsessed with this killer. That is a really horrible joke I just said. All right, next one.
This crab is a boxer.
What's your name?
Agree!
That's right, stepping into the ring.
Crow, anyways, howdy y'all. Hello, Keanu. Is that my favorite borrow artist? Let me go ahead and give you a shout out. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, y'all, I know that crab. Wait, what is this crab? What the fuck? Is this thing a boxer? Wait, is this also another boxer?
0 point.
Wait, hold on. There we go. But hello, everyone, please go follow my favorite bar artists right over there. They have done so much. They have done so much. Trust me. Trust me. If we ever get to that point. If we ever get to that point in my 2.0.
1.5 grams and a huge 2.
Just help me out. Just help me out here and there. I wish I can show you guys, but I got weight. Because who knows?
5 centimeters in length. It's the boxer crab. You see, while most crabs use their pinchers to feed and defend themselves, the boxer crab has instead...
Wait, did that dude just actually grab a crab and just let it, like, pinch onto his nipples? Oh, yeah, the reason why it's not going to be as... The reason why I'm saying this now is because it's going to take that long. It's going to take that long to the point where you guys are just going to forget I said that anyway.
Crab. You see, while most crabs use their pinchers to feed and defend themselves...
Yep. Pinch the nipple. Ah!
The boxer crab has instead elected to spec into CQC and throw fucking hands. And despite their completely average and not at all small size, this fucker fights in the heavyweight division, able to punch out hundreds of times its size. But how does nature's Little Mac win the fights? Well, that's pretty simple. He fucking cheats. You see, those little pom-poms aren't a fashion choice. Those are both anemone that the boxer crab holds in its claws to use as basically fucking brass knuckles. Now, they get these anemones by finding other boxer crabs who have them, jumping them, and then claiming them like they are a fucking WWE title belt. Now, if you weren't aware, anemones are venomous plant-like animals that, in order not to get eaten, sting the shit out of anything that touches them. Boxer crabs are immune to that sting, but you bet your ass that everything that tries to eat the boxer crab isn't. So, the crab and the anemone enter into a symbiotic relationship, essentially becoming an aquatic venom, with the anemone getting some of the crab's food, and the crab gaining venomous brass knuckles. So, whenever...
Dude, you have to agree. That is the coolest shit you have ever heard.
a predator gets in the ring with Crab Tyson here, he'll wait for it to get just within striking range, and then...
Mr. Squidward, I should kick your fucking ass!
It's like it's like that it's like anime scenes. It's like those cool anime scenes where it's just like the dude is like has the wall to his back. He sees chains, so he wrapped up his whole entire fist with chains to go fight the guys with knives. It's that kind of cool. It feels like that. Not as cool as the mantis shrimp, but top 5. My man, that crab is working with what he's got. It's not built to destroy God like that mantis shrimp. That mantis shrimp already has a weapon. This crab is just working with what he's got, and I find that endearing. I love it.
Scientists just discovered a new fish. Looks fucking ridiculous.
It looks like some of my siblings. No offense to all my siblings, except all the offense. You guys look fugly as fuck.
This
I could say that because I'm their brother.
Pumpy snailfish, a freshly discovered species found off the coast of California. What makes this absolute specimen stick out is that it's a deep sea fish found at a depth of 3 kilometers. And I am here to tell you exactly why.
It looks
Because
inoffensive.
once
How?
God
I don't
finished
even know how to
building
take
this
that.
thing, he took a step back, looked at it, realized exactly how fucking chopped it was, and punted that thing into the depths of the ocean where no one would ever see it again.
Be free!
However,
Be free! Chucks it. God has made mistakes. They're at the bottom of the ocean.
to the hubris of mankind, it is here before us today to take the piss out of.
Look at the top of his head.
I mean, fucking look at it. It is a profoundly unserious creature. I do not think a single fucking thought has ever spawned behind those eyes.
It's just head empty. Look at that thing.
Not to mention
To burn the
fit
stains
on it.
in the
It
tub
looks
again.
like
Late,
an
but
aquatic,
made it. Nah, you're not late.
uncooked
Also, welcome back
turkey
in, Momo.
with a fucking smiley face drawn on it. Coming in at a solid 3 inches in length, Bumpy
Solid.
here is not the only species of snailfish. There's others that look like this. However, unlike his cousins, God deemed it so that this poor little f***er would be built like a shaved testicle. The scientific term for a pair of these should be a sack. However, despite the fact that he
It
looks
do
like
look
a
like
sperm
uncooked
cell
smiley
with a
turkey.
receding
Does.
hairline,
Oh.
I love him. He's so cute. Look at that smile. That shit reminds me of Sackboy on the PS3.
Oh.
I know when they got his ass on camera, he looked at it and went,
You know, when you showed me up, you put some of the stuffing in the wrong places, so I'm a little f***ed up. But will you take care of me forever and ever?
Oh, he's so cute. I gotta love it. I gotta love it. All right. Yeah, that sold me. That sold me.